the Mixx.
Les Mis star Amanda Seyfried sheds that good girl image for her latest movie project.
Peter and I had a great time at that banana popsicle.
What's the next film role that Peter Sarsgaard said just might be his last?
Might be my swan song to rapists.
And it's her time to shine. Actress Kathryn Hahn is a bona fide leading lady.
It's like putting a hot bomb in the middle of your marriage.
Hollywood role model Glee star Jane Lynch celebrates 2 upcoming films and gives props to these ladies who helped pave the way to mainstream success.
The people who stepped up at the height of their fame and said, you know, I know y'all love me and everything, but...
He Made Us Laugh and I Love You Man and Wanderlust. Now, Paul Rudd takes on a leading role in an unlikely bromance.
It did feel like a protective older brother at times.
Plus, Mud is a one-of-a-kind character that director Jeff Nichols created just for Matthew McConaughey, vested in a topic that this Texan takes to heart.
He's 8 years old. In his heart.
That's all coming up right now. You are in the moment. You are in the mix. In the Mix with Chris Rock.
I'm Alec Baldwin. I'm here with the gorgeous Gina.
I'm Larry King, and you're watching In the Mix.
I'm Kelly Ripa, and you're watching In the Mix.
I'm Matt Lauer, and you're watching In the Mix.
I'm Kathy Lee.
And I'm Hoda.
And you're watching In the Mix.
I'm Bethany Frankel, and you're watching In the Mix.
In the Mix.
Welcome to this special episode of In the Mix here on location at Park City, Utah.
In the Mix went on location to Sundance to bring you the latest films and the talented celebs who star in them.
Such an amazing experience.
ITM kicks off part 1 of our movie-centric series with a film directed by Jill Soloway, Afternoon Delight, a dark comedy that tells the story of a lost LA housewife who puts her idyllic life in jeopardy when she attempts to rescue a stripper by taking her into her home as a nanny.
Congratulations. What a fun, incredible film. You're a stripper.
I am. Look at my shoes.
She has stripper shoes on. Silver alert, metallic alert, stripper shoes.
The role of the stripper is played by actress Juno Temple.
I made $6,000 off one once. His name was Kevin. He wanted to be my knight in shiny armor.
So what was it like to make this film?
Such an amazing experience, truly. Jill, who just was the conductor of the whole experience, was just...
We're talking about you.
She's very sweet.
Your ears are burning.
I love you.
This year at Sundance, for the first time ever, there was the same amount of female directors as there were male directors representing their films at the festival.
Right? Just girl power. That's right. No, but it is. It's exciting, and you've had this wonderful experience. Share a little bit what it was like to work with Juno. Yeah.
Well, she's the most amazing thing in the world, and from the moment I first met her, I knew that she was the person to play McKenna. She got like lap dancing lessons from this amazing teacher named Rie, and I remember when I first went to see you dance, and I brought Catherine.
We had the armchair.
Yeah, we put Catherine in the chair so that Juno could practice, and I could see the whole movie.
Afternoon Delight stars actress Kathryn Hahn.
Captain Savo, that's hilarious.
Hahn is best known for playing the uber-supportive friend in several hit films, including Anchorman, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, and The Holiday. But now Hahn is the leading lady in Afternoon Delight. She plays the unhappy housewife who's going through an identity crisis.
I feel like this is your time. This is your film.
It's a very heady time. I have been able... I don't know. I love acting, and I'm so lucky that I've been able to work in any capacity, and the fact that somebody asked something else of me is just like a dream.
Anchorman 2? Are we thinking that?
I'm hoping. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, you guys. I know. That's not good. I know. I really want to.
Ron Burgundy will read anything that is put on that teleprompter. And when I say anything, I mean no.
So tell us about this film. Like, I know it's about you get a stripper to come, which may not be a good thing because a stripper could be too hot and steal the husband. I don't know.
It's like putting a hot bomb in the middle of your marriage.
Man that rocks the pole.
Why does this not make any sense in any way? It's more, I would say, about this young mother, Rachel, who has a 5-year-old son. Her husband's never around. The son starts school, and all of a sudden nobody needs her anymore. And, you know, the kids in school, like all of a sudden she's just not needed in any way, and so she's trying to put that need somewhere. You know, she meets the delightful and irresistible Juno Temple. And of course, oh, she's ridiculous.
She just made those stripper shoes look hot. And by the way, they're Prada stripper shoes, but still. Like,
and then, I mean, no, she's like a delicious little fairy.
How I Met Your Mother star Josh Radnor plays Catherine's husband.
What's it like to work with the next leading lady of Hollywood? That's what I feel.
I felt so lucky the whole time because she's one of those actors that's so good and so present that you forget you're acting, and it kind of like she takes you with her, and we really worked on building this relationship, and there was so much trust between us. And I've known her for a long time. I'm friends with her husband, so there was already this built-in kind of trust, and so it was excellent. I think it's long overdue to have her at the center of a movie.
Bridesmaids co-writer Annie Momolo, who also stars in Afternoon Delight, agrees this is Catherine's time to shine.
She nails it. She hits it out of the park, and it's been, I don't know why it hasn't happened by now. It's absolutely overdue, and it needs to happen.
The cast of Afternoon Delight proved to be a close-knit group of friends.
Looks like summer camp to me, to be quite honest with you.
It was summer camp. We all sat around, and Josh Radnor and I smoked fake cigarettes a lot. He would like to be going, "You want to go have a fake cigarette? Let's go have a fake cigarette." And so we're going to do some fake Coke. Let's go do some fake. There's lots of fake Coke in the movie, but Catherine Hahn, forget about it. Forget about it.
This is her time.
It is her time. In this movie, she's really terrific in this movie. She's poignant, she's hilarious.
Another leading lady who is recently named Comedian Extraordinaire by the Chicago Film Critic Association is finally getting her due. Actress Jane Lynch plays a lesbian psychologist.
I don't play a lot of gay women, really. I only play.
This is true. 40-something you were.
I was I played a gay woman in Best in Show, but everybody else, although I probably come off as like domineering and maybe associate that with.
No, not at all.
But yeah, like this character I'm playing tonight.
You're very feminine, damn it.
Damn it, I am. The woman I play tonight, Lenore Binney Smith, is indeed a lesbian and has a life partner named Portia.
Yes.
And she's very precious about her own orientation.
Lynch has become a Hollywood role model for gay actors, and she's thankful for those who have come before her.
It's fantastic to see you have the success you have. And I know I've read interviews where you say, you thank that those women before, but really it is about thanking because it wasn't an easy business for you. And it wasn't an easy business to come out and get those roles,
No, and I don't think my sexual orientation has anything to do with my success or lack of success. I think it's
not at all, and I wasn't insinuating that by any chance.
And that's what I'm saying. And the reason is because of people like Rosie and Ellen and Katie and Melissa, the people who stepped up at the height of their fame and said, I know y'all love me and everything, but I'm a homosexual.
Right.
And
but you have the fun part. But you have the fun part of playing those roles.
I do, absolutely.
Despite recent industry accolades, Jane credits her latest film performance to her friend and the film's director, Jill Soloway.
And what a wonderful director to work for. Speaking of women and women at the festival, we were just high-fiving, but very important.
It might be bi-curious. I don't know. She's one of my best friends, Jill Soloway, and I tell you, she might be a little bi-curious.
I like that. I mean, I think that's what you look for in certain women.
Yeah, I don't want any black and white people. I want people who ride the gray area, right in the middle.
I feel like you enjoy also, you're in the moment and you enjoy it. Is that true?
I do. Yeah, I love being in the moment. I don't like to plan anything, and that's one of the reasons I love working with Jill. I show up, she shows up, and she's got a plan. She always has a plan, always has an idea, and I just turn myself over to her, and it has never let me down, and we've been working together for 23 years.
One of Lynch's biggest career-changing roles is on ABC's hit TV series, Glee. Jane won both a Golden Globe and an Emmy for her role as Coach Sue Sylvester.
You've had a lot of interviews, obviously, about Glee. It's so big and huge. Did you ever think it was going to be as big as it was?
I know the power of musical theater because I know it in my life, and I know how prominently it was featured in.
Favorite musical Broadway show?
Funny Girl, and Barbra Streisand and Funny Girl. And so I knew that there would be a rabid audience. I did not think it would be so big. I mean, I didn't know one way or the other. I didn't, but I knew that if it took off, that the audience would be and they are. But there's a lot of them.
And there are about you, right? This film seems like an incredible cast, though. It's almost like summer camp. I feel like.
Well, yeah, it was like summer camp. It took us a month to do it in August. We only had, I think, 25 days to shoot it. And I maintain that comedy people do the dark stuff best. I mean, this is Jill's a funny person, but she wrote something very personal, and it's about a woman going through kind of a crisis, and very much of a crisis. And I think that because comedy people can go to the dark side and find something juicy and and find the sense of humor in it, they also make the best, my bias, the best dramatic actor.
Still to come.
Les Mis star Amanda Seyfried sheds that good girl image for her latest movie project.
Peter and I had a great time at that banana popsicle.
What's the next film role that Peter Sarsgaard said just might be his last.
Might be my swan song to rapists.
He made us laugh in I Love You Man and Wanderlust. Now, Paul Rudd takes on a leading role in an unlikely bromance.
It did feel like a protective older brother at times.
Plus, Mud is a one-of-a-kind character that director Jeff Nichols created just for Matthew McConaughey, vested in a topic that this Texan takes to heart.
He's 8 years old in his heart.
In the mix.
This episode of In the Mix is presented by the Bedford Post Inn. Log on to bedfordpostin.com for detailed info and room reservations.
In the mix.
Welcome back to this special episode of In the Mix here in Park City, Utah. Sundance 2013, I'm Gina Jordan.
In the Mix is on location at Sundance to bring you the latest films getting all the buzz and the celebs who star in them.
Sundance 2013, here we are in the red carpet for the premiere of Lovelace.
No regret.
Amanda Seyfried, who's best known for her wholesome girl next door image, may shock fans in her latest film project, Lovelace.
I played Linda before I played Cosette.
Before Les Mis, Amanda played the infamous 70s porn star Linda Lovelace in a movie that portrayed the fascinating yet tragic life story of a severely abused, troubled adult film actress who went from being the X-rated poster girl to an anti-porn campaigner that eventually crossed over to making mainstream films.
I finally learned about myself and I learned how to enjoy sex.
Beautiful.
This beautiful Hollywood actress, why was she chosen for the part?
She has a wonderful quality of realness that Linda also had. She's also a great actor.
She's fearless.
She's fearless. You know, she was up for the challenge. She really wanted to do something challenging.
Innocent too, so that always helps. Which Linda seemed,
Linda was too, yeah.
Linda was very much the girl next door, and that was her appeal. That's why she was such a phenomenon.
I want to jump into other people's skin and I want to explore that and I want to understand it and I also want to portray it and I want the world to see that. It's like, I think it's important, whether it's fictional or you know, a true story. I think it's such a privilege for an actor to play this kind of person, so I'm looking forward to it.
Despite the serious and explicit nature of the film topic, there's no hardcore sex scenes in Lovelace.
We really set out to tell the human story of this woman who was so objectified, so we felt the responsibility to tell the more human side of her story.
There's no pornography in the movie. If there were pornography in the movie, it could be a crossover film with pornography. Like, I think of you know, that director Leo Carax, I know, made this film Pola X, where like mainstream actors had sex in it. I think, you know, they're directors doing that. We're not doing that.
Peter Sarsgaard co-stars in Lovelace and plays Linda's abusive husband, Chuck Traynor.
What made you take on this role? You read the script and...
I didn't want to do it, you know, for a long time. I really didn't want to play this guy and be in this world. My wife was pregnant. I had a 5-year-old at the time, girl.
His wife Maggie, who's gorgeous and a fantastic actress.
Absolutely.
Sarsgaard admitted he needed some serious convincing before accepting the role of Traynor. The talented actor, who's well known for brilliantly portraying demented sociopaths on the big screen, revealed this Lovelace performance just may be his last.
I felt like I just didn't want to do it, didn't want to get into it, and you know, to be honest, a lot of people talked me into it, and once I started doing it, it was interesting. I committed to it. It was all I could do. But I think in retrospect, I might be done with a certain line of character that is, might be my swan song to rapists. I think being a father to 2 girls is just, it's too hard. It's too awful a thought. You know?
I appreciate you sharing that, though, because that must be a difficult thing it's a transition in life, right?
Oh yeah, I've played a lot of people that have done, you know, and it's a certain type of violence. I mean, there's violence in every kind of movie, in most movies, and so I deal in trying to understand things that are difficult to understand. It's just, I've done a fair amount of raping of women in movies, and I just am kind of done with it.
Lovelace has an ensemble cast of characters, including Hank Azaria, James Franco, Chris Noth, and Juno Temple, who recently won the BAFTA British Academy of Film and TV Arts Rising Star Award.
Thank you to all of the voters, especially my little brother Felix, who I think got his entire school to vote for me.
What an amazing cast, first and foremost, like an extraordinary cast. An honor to be a part of it, and I got offered it. It was amazing. Rob and Jeffrey, they sent me the script and I met them, said yeah.
Temple plays Patsy in the film, Linda Lovelace's best friend.
Did you guys become best friends after this?
We became really good friends, yes, we did.
How did this film change your life?
It was, the thing that's, what happened with me is my character starts at the beginning before all of this happens to her. And I'm sort of the naughty best friend, the friend that wants to kind of get her high and goes skinny dipping in the ocean and then...
That's good.
I'm a good friend to have, right? We go our separate ways and she enters into this whole world that I can't even fathom. And then we had this really difficult scene where she comes in I own a vintage store, and she comes in and I try to ask her if she's okay and she won't tell me. And that was a really hard scene to shoot, and she was amazing in it. And I think it's an interesting, because it's about porn and it's also mainly about a woman stuck with a man that did not treat her in a way that anyone deserves. And so I really hope it sends out a message to people if they are in that situation to be brave enough to get out of it.
Aside from creating an accurate and entertaining film, the directors and the cast revealed a bigger mission for Lovelace and Linda's family.
You feel you've done her justice?
We hope so. We hope the audience will feel we did.
Her children told us we did. Linda's children.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Just recently? Did they see the film?
We screened the film for them last week.
Yeah, and they'll be here tonight.
Do you think that you did some justice for Linda as a human being and for her family?
Well, I think that by not backing away from the most violent and difficult parts of playing this guy, I hope that I made it seem as real as it was.
She tried so hard to be heard. She wrote a couple books and she went on the road. She was an anti-porn activist. She just got screwed in her life, and I like our version of the story is her perspective, and I think everybody's free to have a voice, and I feel like it became my responsibility to be that, and it's really daunting, but at the same time I believed in her. I feel like she deserves this, and she's had a shit life, and luckily, she did catch a break. She had 2 amazing kids and had a really good relationship with her.
Apparently, we're very proud of the film. The director.
Yeah, they're super supportive. Thanks. I can't believe
you get a
that.
little emotional about it. That you kind of have that.
Yeah, I did when I was shooting the movie, because I was doing scenes where I had to go there, and I never did it before in a movie. I've never been able to turn something on and then not turn it off. So that's really cool. As an actor, it's really great, but at the same time, it's real. It's something that really people experience this. People experience it all the time. 25% of women in America are
domestic violence
in their
is
lifetimes by their spouse or partner, and it's just like that's happening. And I think she did a lot for that. I really do. I think she brought it out to the surface. Everybody's gonna ask, well, why didn't she leave? But you know what? You would just ask her. You just read the book. You just see the movie.
Anybody who's been abused knows it's not an easy thing to leave. It's a disease, and you're caught up.
Yeah, but you read on the internet. People, it's like a million ways and ways and reasons on how and why to leave. It's a really hard thing. You have a big, long, solid relationship with somebody, and you depend on them in some sort of way, and it's a whole nother thing.
Actor Adam Brody plays an adult film star in Lovelace.
In terms of domestic violence and what this film brings a little justice to Linda's family?
I don't know. I mean, I think it definitely illuminates it, or at least what seems like her version of it.
Brody shared several complex sex scenes with Amanda.
I played her fellow co-star in Deep Throat. It's just another day at the office.
Why did you take on this role? I mean, this is not an easy role to do. There were obviously explicit sexual scenes in the film.
My stuff was simple enough. It's a little explicit. It's mostly fun. She has a lot more hardcore harrowing, dramatic stuff. This was my stuff is fairly lighthearted, even though does involve oral sex, and which is lighthearted.
According to Amanda, the more explicit sex scenes in the film were actually less sexual and more fruity.
I saw an interview with you recently that you had to simulate a specific sex scene, giving fellatio with a popsicle. Just that must have been an interesting.
It was my idea to do the popsicle because it was either that or pretend to suck on nothing, and I thought, your lips get wet usually. You need kind of moisture. So I was like, why don't I like a banana popsicle so it doesn't stain my lips? And it worked. And you know what? Peter and I had a great time with that banana popsicle. It was sticky, it was messy, but it made it worked for me. Whatever it took, really. You do it over and over again, and it's awkward, but it's so not sexual, like on set.
Still to come.
He Made Us Laugh in I Love You Man and Wanderlust. Now, Paul Rudd takes on a leading role in an unlikely bromance.
It did feel like a protective older brother at times.
Plus, Mud is a one-of-a-kind character that director Jeff Nichols created just for Matthew McConaughey, vested in a topic that this Texan takes to heart.
He's 8 years old in his heart.
In the mix.
In the Mix is presented by GoPro, Agave, the Clam Man Seafood Market Caterers in Southampton, and South Shore Signs and Graphics.
In the mix.
Welcome back to this special episode of In the Mix here on location in Park City, Utah. I'm Gina Jordan. In the Mix is on location at Sundance, bringing you the latest celebrity action and the films coming to a theater near you.
Sundance 2013, we are here at the premiere of Prince Avalanche, and right here, right behind me, is Paul Rudd, who stars in Prince Avalanche. Now, he's a New Yorker through and through. He just admitted that snowboarding isn't his thing, and he also doesn't believe in Bigfoot. Paul Rudd.
He's great.
Incredible. What was it like to work with him?
Well, he's a very nice gentleman. No, he's a lot of fun. He brought at the same time, he obviously brings kind of some comedic insight and instinct to the role. He also brought a dramatic depth to the role, and we were able to explore some sides of Paul that I think the audience will be happily surprised to see.
Sir Rudd was in Park City to promote his latest film, Prince Avalanche, alongside Emile Hirsch. Rudd and Hirsch come together to portray the story of an unlikely bromance that flourishes when they leave the big city behind to spend an introspective summer painting traffic lines down the center of a country highway.
Paul plays Emile's almost brother-in-law. He's in a relationship with Emile's sister, and they're working on a highway together that's been devastated by a forest fire. So they're there in the kind of the aftermath, painting lines on the road and hammering reflectors into the side of the road, and kind of the mundane workload starts to be a chance and opportunity for them to explore their own personal lives.
How was that to work with Emile and that relationship between the two of you in the film?
It was great. I'd never met Emile, and we got on really well, and there's a relationship that I think our characters have in the film, which is I'm a bit of I think older brother to him a little bit, and I think some of the way the characters were established in the films somehow translated into just the way we are when we weren't shooting. And we enjoyed each other's company and spent time with one another, but I did feel like a protective older brother at times.
Rudd is a very busy man with 8 films in production, including Admission, starring alongside Tina Fey.
So you're just a single dad traveling the world with his kid doing good?
I have that on a t-shirt, actually.
Paul is also gearing up for Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues, and This Is the End, that includes an all-star cast with Danny McBride, James Franco, Jonah Hill, Emma Watson, and Rihanna.
Dude, Siegel's dead, Krumholtz is dead, Michael Cera's dead.
Yes, if Michael Cera's gone, it's not a total loss, huh?
Rudd has paid his dues in Hollywood, a leading man in comedy, which has earned him the right to admit his least favorite part of the movie-making business.
When it comes to Sundance, do you enjoy promoting films? Is this something that you like doing?
It's a lot easier if you like the movie. Sometimes, I've promoted movies and it's like, man, I don't really like that one. And that makes it harder. But if you've done something that, you believe in and you want people to see it, you don't want to just kind of do it and then it's like spitting in the wind a little bit. So it's nice to you want to rally the people to see a little bit, but ultimately to talk about it, to talk about character, to talk about all of that kind of stuff is a little bit taxing. I'd rather not talk about any of it, but that's a really.
That's why we love Paul Rudd, because you're very straightforward.
You may recognize Rudd's co-star in the film, Emil Hirsch, from his breakthrough performance in The Girl Next Door.
Sorry. Let me guess, someone showed you a tape and you thought, what the hell, she does it for a living, right?
Eli told me to do it.
Oh, now that's a mature response.
Why didn't you just tell me?
What's it like to come to Sundance and promote this kind of a film? Directors next to you, Paul Rudd, down the carpet. What's it like?
I mean, it's really exciting, and it's particularly exciting for me today because I have not seen the movie yet. So this will be the first time I've ever seen the movie. So that's a special thing for me to be able to just check it out, you know. So I'm like an audience member today.
Emil's more recent roles, Into the Wild and Milk, starring alongside Sean Penn, have prepped him for this film experience with Rudd.
Why'd you pick this project? In other words, you read the script, you decided to do it. What made you do it?
Well, I knew David Gordon Green before. I fortuitously called him asking him a question about just a little art project I was working on, and he answered my questions very nicely. And then he called me back a week later, and he had just been casting that part. And I guess it was a lucky call on my part, because I think right when he was thinking about casting it, I called him, and so I got in his head. So I got
meant to be.
I think I got a little lucky on this one.
From a budding bromance to a troubled romance.
I'm waiting on my girlfriend. She got these birds tattooed on her hands here. Nightingale. Good luck, birds.
The movie Mud was written and directed by Jeff Nichols and stars Matthew McConaughey, Reese Witherspoon, and Ty Sheridan.
It's about true love, one of my favorite topics. A little truth to the story?
Absolutely. Oh, sure. Girl broke up with me in high school, and it just ripped my heart out of my chest, and I had to figure out how to put it back in, and that's kind of what the emotional core of this movie is trying to figure out, okay, when your heart gets broken, how do we navigate that? How do we work through that? And really, you know, Ellis, played by Ty Sheridan, his character's just trying to find, desperately searching for some example of love that works. And that's what, you know, McConaughey's character, Mud, that's what's so attractive.
Mud is a coming-of-age story about two teenage boys who encounter a fugitive, played by McConaughey, and form a pact to help him evade bounty hunters and reunite him with his true love, Reese Witherspoon.
I just can't spend the rest of my life running away with him.
She don't care about nobody but herself. He's stuck off in that island because of her.
Ty Sheridan, best known for his performance in the critically acclaimed film Tree of Life, starring alongside Brad Pitt and Jessica Chastain, plays one of the teenage boys, Ellis, in Mud.
Matthew McConaughey, did you hear the story about him going through 10 different shirts to complete the character?
Right, yeah, I heard it that didn't feel like his lucky shirt.
Yeah, he needed to be his lucky shirt. It's an important thing. But the story I was telling is, you know, his character has a chip in his tooth. And I knew Matthew was really serious about the part when he called me and he said, I talked to my dentist about really doing it. And I said, okay, we're going to try and make it so you don't have to do that. But I like the effort. I like where you're going with this. And
he's dedicated.
Yeah.
How dedicated were you, Ty, for this film?
You want to know how dedicated I was?
I want to know.
Okay, well, we thought that it would be a good idea to not wash my hair for 2 months, just to give it this nasty river bottom look.
He's a river rat, and he's kept it up since then. This is good.
True love. Have you ever experienced to get your 16 years old, sir? True love.
I don't know.
Come on, you're a heartbreaker, man.
Director Jeff Nichols wrote the leading role of Mud, a heartbroken soul on the run, for Matthew McConaughey.
I was kind of flattered it was written for me, and then interested in why, which I still haven't really found out, but I'll bring that up with the director later.
McConaughey sure knows a thing or two about love on the big screen. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, The Wedding Planner, Ghost of Girlfriend's Past. Yet some critics believe it's McConaughey's performance in Mud that is his best role to date.
There are fierce powers at work in the world, boys. Good, evil, poor luck, best luck. As men, we got to take advantage where we can.
McConaughey doesn't need to dig deep when it comes to real-life love. The famous Texan is married to the love of his life, Camilla Owls. The couple has 3 children, sons Levi and Livingston, and daughter Vita.
This film's about true love. You met your true love. You've had that experience in your life. How were you able to go back in time and remember what it was like before you really connected with the true love in your life?
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't a specificity like that. It was more of a time. This guy that I get to play in this film comes from a place. He's 8 years old in his heart. He's
he hasn't learned.
Aren't all men 8 years old in their heart?
No. You wish they were.
A healthy-looking McConaughey recently put back on the 27 pounds he lost for his role playing an AIDS patient, Ron Woodruff, in Dallas Buyers Club alongside Jared Leto.
In the mix.
I've had so much fun, guys. Sundance has been absolutely fantastic this year. I've had a great time. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the mix.